I really do need to apologize to Norm for giving them such short notice. Really, just the weekend isn't enough time, even with our 1 to 5 day estimate, although they certainly tried, and hopefully they'll have something to show later this week. It's really refreshing to see developers like at Macromedia just really jump on this strategy with so much enthusiasm. Now, although we kind of blew it with Macromedia and didn't give them enough time, we did give Adobe enough time. We talked to Adobe just about 2 weeks ago, and we had a great meeting with them. And at the end of that meeting, I said something that was intended to be a joke, which was, well, so how about if you guys demo Photoshop running on this at WWDC? And the next person I'd like to invite up is Greg Gilly. He took me seriously, and he actually went off and made it happen. So I'd like to invite up Greg Gilly now to show us Photoshop and tell us what he thinks.
So first off, let me say a couple things. It's been interesting working with Apple over the last several years. There's been a few changes in management, a few changes in product strategy and product philosophy, so it's been a challenge, and I have to say that over the last several months, it's gotten a whole lot easier to deal with Apple, a whole lot more rational. We're pretty excited about this strategy. I don't know, probably like most of you, when Apple came and talked to us about Rhapsody, we were kind of going, huh? So how does this make sense for the customers? How does this make sense for us? And we never could really get excited about that. But when they came back and talked to us a couple weeks ago, it was pretty clear, just 5 minutes into the meeting, that they had figured out a strategy that we think will actually work. So we're pretty excited about it. We had this meeting 2 weeks ago, and so I want to catch Avi and Steve up, since I don't know if they know what kind of happened in the meantime. So we had this meeting, and then Avi asked this question, and I thought, well, we could give it a shot. He was just joking, but I thought, what the hell? So I went back and started taking a look at it. They gave us a list of APIs, so we started looking at the APIs, and like I said, there were most of the APIs that we're using were supported. There were a few that weren't, and most of them were old deprecated things, old things where you're just using param blocks directly and things like that. Some things that probably weren't kosher on the Macintosh anyway. But we started taking a look at that, and then said, okay, well, let's see what we can do. So I started looking at the headers and stuff, and then I guess on Friday, so that's a week ago Friday, I got a copy of the MetroWorks compiler for this beast, and kind of got to work. So what's happening in the meantime is, so Photoshop is in the final shipping stages, so things are a little crazy. And so actually everybody in the Photoshop team was busy dealing with that, so I was the one who actually started doing the port, which is kind of scary. And what they say about vice presidents and keeping them away from code, it's true. So just anyway, so I got started working on that, and I made some pretty good progress. And meanwhile, Photoshop it's all crazy, and I'm dealing with all the fires that are coming up and dealing with that. And then my brother comes in town, and so I've got him and his family. And so we, are trying to run around with them. And so actually, on this past Friday, I actually went down to Monterey Bay Aquarium and left the machine with a couple of engineers on the Photoshop team who finally got to the point where the discs were going to manufacturing, so they had a few minutes of time, and they fixed a couple of things which had been nagging me. And then, so Saturday we had a barbecue in my backyard, and I was in there, I was trying to get the last couple of things trying to get them worked, and I burned the steaks. So my wife gave me grief for that, but, and let's see, and then of course Sunday was Mother's Day. So we actually took my brother up to San Francisco, took the family up there, because I'd never been to San Francisco before, so they want to go see the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff. So I guess, let's see, so I guess about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, I came over to Apple, sat down with the engineers, worked out the last few kinks. We went to dinner last night. And then, let's see, I came back after dinner and worked on a few more things, and finally, I guess about 1 last night, I finally went to sleep because I had to get up this early this morning and come up here. So that's kind of where we are right now. So it was an interesting experience. The other thing that I should probably mention is that while this was going on, there was a little bit of a headbutting going on between executives between Adobe and Apple. So there was a couple of times where I said, yes, we're going to do this, no, we're not, yes, no, but we got past that. So anyway, all that said, let me show you what we got here. So it kind of looks like Photoshop. So let's see, let me bring up an image here. So this is, so we can do things here. So we can use a magic wand and make a selection and grab the gradient tool and do a gradient here. You know, things like that. So, you know, you get the idea. It's basically working here. So we can pop up another thing here, and this is showing off all the some of the new features and stuff. So, you know, we've got the layer effects and things like that. So we've got, you know, another image here. We can do a little painting, thank you. So, and, you know, we've got hey, my scroll bars are working. Cool. They weren't working a little while ago. So, you know, we've got, you know, screen updating, drawing, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of working here. So, and this is not Macintosh. So this is not Mac OS. This is not the blue box. So this is using the Carbon APIs. And, you know, the thing that I guess that I'm most stoked about is, well, there's two things. One of them is that you don't realize how many places in your code that you have hacked around problems in Mac OS where you have to go